Hey, what's up guys? Bajheera here, bringing you another leg day video. This is going to be some high volume leg training, which I guess isn't really that different from my normal leg days, or my normal training days in general, since I do tend to train with pretty high volume. But this day was, I actually went into this workout not feeling super great. I felt like my form was a little bit weird, just felt a little bit tight, but a lot of times on those kind of days, you just gotta go with it. So that's pretty much what I did for this workout, which ended up being a PR of sorts for me. You'll see at the end when I got up to my heavier weight, even though I didn't feel great all the way up to there, when I did get to the heavier weight, we looked pretty solid, I feel like. Spoiler alert, I did 2 sets of 315 for 3, which is, like I said, a PR for me. It's not my highest weight I've ever lifted, but it is the first time that I felt like I've done 315, like, all by myself. There's time I'd done 315 for 3 for 2 sets before, but I had a little bit of a spot, and that's fine that I have a little bit of a spot, but for me, for whatever reason, like, even if I get spotted a little bit, like, even though I'm not a power lifter, even though I'm not, like, competing in powerlifting meets, I feel like it has to be all on my own, or else it doesn't count, right? I'm still happy to receive a spot to make progress, but whenever I get a lift without a spot, you know, it's a little bit different. And so I was proud of that. Didn't hit my all-time highest squat by any means. Just stopped at 335 this time, but we'll see a little bit later on in the video that 335 looked really, really solid this time around. Once again, no spot at all on 335, which is pretty cool. 335 is what I would call my current max. My all-time max, in terms of how much weight I put on the bar and how much I've squatted, was 365, but once again, with 365, I got a spot on that one too. So 355 would be what I would call my completely unassisted max, and we still haven't been able to get to that ever since the winter time. So I've talked about how I did my competition, and I did a bulk, and I got really strong over that bulk, put on a lot of weight back, which is good. And then I took a little bit of time easy during January, and ever since January and the February months, I feel like I've been sort of slowly, steadily working my way back up to getting in the training groove. And as I mentioned in my back day video that I posted, I'm feeling a lot better. I feel like I'm actually hitting a groove now. I feel like I'm gaining muscle and not putting on too much body fat, and I might even be getting leaner just because I'm not letting my calories get super high. I'm eating around 3,000 calories a day right now, maybe more like 3,200. So my macros are looking like around 300 carb, around 100 fat, and around 250, 240 protein. I don't always hit my carbs just because I don't really feel like eating that much sometimes, but oftentimes I'm pretty close. Usually, I don't know, like 290 instead of 300 or whatever, but that's fine. Anyway, my diet's going pretty well, and I actually feel better eating a little bit lower calorie bulk, not maintaining as much of a huge surplus, because right now, I just don't really feel like that's necessary for me to grow, and I do feel better not being as weighed down by food, which is something that I've done in the past. I mean, when I was eating 8,000 calories a day after my competition, I actually was like really hungry all the time, so I didn't mind eating 8,000. But right now, I'm stabilized for sure, so 8,000 isn't quite necessary. And so I feel like for a nice lean bulk, I have plenty of energy to train with at 3,000 calories. So I'm getting stronger, I'm gaining muscle, and like I mentioned, I may even be losing body fat, if not just keep my body fat about the same, which is a good place to be. Alright, so I have effectively rambled through what I would call my warm-up sets, because now we're getting down to business. As soon as I get to around 245, that's when I start hitting a slightly lower rep range. Things starts getting a little bit more difficult, but this is also when I start getting, like I said, warmed up, start getting a little bit more focused. I do like a nice long warm-up, and I do think that the total volume of my workout, I feel like a lot of that volume does take place in the warm-up reps, so to speak. But I think those reps are really important. They're important for getting my form together. They're important for getting my mind right. And they're also just important to physically warm up for me. But I also like the fact that I get some hypertrophy in my workouts, because, like I said, I like lifting heavier weight. I like getting stronger. I think that's fun. But my goals still are not to be a powerlifter. It's still be, you know, a bodybuilder. So getting high volume in there, getting some hypertrophy is good stuff. But I am really, really happy with the fact that I'm able to start putting up 275 for 5. I think that we could start doing this for 6, or maybe even more than that. It would just take a good day. And today, like I said, I felt pretty good. I didn't feel exceptional, but that's okay, because we still put up good numbers, and I still had a really good training session. So I mentioned that during the winter time, that was when I really was the strongest, which is odd to me. I'm not really sure why I was so much stronger during the winter time than I am now. But I don't know, maybe that's part of that's mental, who knows. Either way, we're actually getting back to that point now. I think that I remember in the wintertime feeling really, really proud of myself for doing 275 for 5, and I'm pretty sure I was getting it up there to 6. So that just makes me happy that I have approximately reached what I would consider to be my strongest point ever in my life, but my body composition is probably much better than it was back then in terms of my muscle to fat and all that stuff. Because even though it's in the off season, like I said, my goal is still to get, to grow muscle and to stay relatively lean and achieve a certain look. But right now, I feel like it's more fun, since I'm eating a lot and since I'm giving myself a chance to grow, to focus on my training and have that be the progressive part rather than, continuing to see body fat loss. Because muscle grows slow, at least for me. But sometimes the weight that you're pushing goes up more quickly. So this was 295 for 3. I did 2 sets of that after doing all my warm-up sets, and then I did 275 for 5. I think I was doing 245 for like 6 or maybe 7. I'm not sure. But either way, we got to 295 for 3, and this was feeling good. Like I feel like the 5 and 3 is becoming my favorite rep range. Even though I'm a big fan of the hypertrophy, for squats, I enjoy the challenge, and I enjoy, I don't know, the sort of mindset you get in when you start to put heavy weight on the bar. It's really fun. Same thing with bench. Bench is fun too, to getting that 5 to 3 rep range as well. But I was feeling good enough at 295 that I went ahead and put 315 on the bar, thinking I was going to do maybe 2 or 3. Went for 2, and we had more in the tank, so we went ahead with the third one. And I remember recently, I can remember posting on Instagram, I did a PR, 315 for 2, felt awesome. And now here we are doing 2 sets of 315 for 3. Pretty solid too. Like I feel like we're not really getting hitched up anywhere. We're not getting stalled much of anywhere. It's just kind of moving right up there with a pretty even pace. And of course, my depth is probably lower than I need to go for squat, but I feel like my flexibility is an asset. I feel like if I do go that low and I feel solid doing that, then I may as well. I mean, I feel like it's going to help me with the range of motion, if nothing else. Plus, I don't know, if I can do it, I might as well. So I'm even going pretty low on 335. I feel like next time I do my leg workouts, I gotta kind of hold myself back from trying to do a new like 1 rep max every week, because I know that this isn't necessarily my true 1 rep max. I feel like I kind of help protect myself from injury by kind of wearing myself out before I get to the 1 rep max, so that the real thing holding me back from getting more weight up there is just the fact that I probably have muscle fatigue instead of like my joints blowing up or something. And I think that's okay with me, because like I said, I want to get more volume in. Volume over max weight is good for me, but I still do like pushing for that new max lift. And I think that I could probably end up putting 345 on the bar. And I do want to be conservative. I don't mind having, small progress over a longer period of time. I think that's good for me. But 335 felt pretty good. I don't know if I'd want to go way higher than that, but I think I could probably do 10 more pounds. We'll see. Either way, I like to finish out my leg workouts with some light front squats. I do like 4 to 6 sets of front squats, but I never really focus on having these extra exercises be super heavy weight. I also definitely love straight-legged deadlifts. I haven't been doing a lot of deadlifts in my program. I kind of want to start putting them back in there, and I've mentioned that, and I've been doing a little bit of deadlifts, just still not a ton. I don't do them every back day. I don't know, every couple back days I'll throw some deadlifts in, but I do make sure to do straight-legged deadlifts. Once again, not really heavy weight, just, 4 to 6 sets with 135 just for the motion. And then I'll do 4 to 6 sets of the other accessory movements, like leg extensions, these little quad extension and the hamstring curls. Oh, another thing is in terms of calf training, between every single set of squats, I'm doing like, 12 to 20 weighted calf machine, little calf raises things. They're really convenient. Has the calf machine like right next to the squat, so I'm able to just hop on there, take a breather, and get right back on the squat. So it's a billion sets of my main compound movements, and then 4 to 6 sets of my accessory movements basically makes up my leg training workout. So a lot of volume for me. Not any new top weight PRs in terms of like 1 rep maxes, but I would definitely say those 2 reps of 315 for 3 represents a new best for me in terms of that. So we're making progress. Excited to keep that progress rolling. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!